This is the Sports Timeout Podcast with Tony Caranco, Tristen Howe, and your host, Wes Underwood.
It's that time again, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Timeout Podcast, brought to you by Jefferson's and Kraken Cajun Seafood House in Joplin. If you're in the mood for some fresh Cajun, head on over to Kraken Cajun Seafood House in Joplin across from Moe's on Main Street. And if you're in the mood for some wings, head to Jefferson's behind Books A Million on Rangeline. Wes Underwood with Tony and Tristen, and welcome back, guys. You guys ready to get to it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, first up, we're going to go ahead and head into the NFL. A lot of stuff going on this week, a lot, and we might be talking about it over the next few weeks, indeed, even up until draft time. And, first up, though, Calvin Ridley got in trouble for gambling on games during the regular season. The NFL knew about this in November, and back when he hit the IL for mental health issues, and I don't know, do you think they're a little late to the party? Do you think they should have started his suspension then? What are your thoughts on this, Tony? We'll start you.
Man, well, he was obviously not very good at betting. He bet, for the Falcons.
Yeah.
I feel the fact that he lost money is bad enough. I really do think it's a little bit excessive. I do think that there should be some sort of repercussions for it. But ultimately, man, he lost money on it, and I think right now they're just trying to make an example out of him ultimately. Yeah. And if I don't think there should be inside trading, but man, there's been so much commercials on gambling, every football game, like the MGM commercial or the Caesars commercial, those. How do you not expect people want to gamble whenever that's all that's being advertised every single time that there is any game?
Very true. And Tristen, what are your thoughts?
I'm kind of on the fence about it a little bit. Especially when these guys are already making millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
To throw a football around, and so you kind of have to ask yourself the question of whether or not they even need to be gambling on games anyways. But at the same time, it's kind of, it's a free country, and he was out for basically that whole 3/4 of that season. And, it's not like he was betting on himself to do good and then
do bad.
Right. It's not like he was betting on himself,
It kind of brings
because he
point,
wasn't.
though, are the officials throwing games now that this is out there? Since players are betting, Calvin Ridley getting caught, what players haven't gotten caught, and are officials doing this too?
Man, go ahead, Tristan. Sorry.
I mean, that's a whole can of worms, but we got to go there.
Right. It kind of is about kind of the same situation like Pete Rose, for example. He was betting on games, and now he's not allowed to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of like that situation. If you're in the NFL, I don't think you should be allowed to bet on games. Period. Anyway, shape or form. But at the same time, we're all human and we all make mistakes, and it is a free country. So I'm kind of on the fence about it. I really can't give a definitive argument of whether or not it's right or wrong. Because, if I was in that position, I'd probably be doing the same thing.
Yeah. But it's also really hard when you have a team in Vegas too, not to bet on anything. So.
Well, and on top of that, I think we've touched on it a couple times, that I feel like the NFL is rigged. At the end of the day, it's entertainment. And with the several, you watch some of the games, especially in the playoffs. It's really, really hard to think. It's really hard to think that some of the games aren't rigged with how exciting they can be, or some of the outlandish calls that shouldn't have been called. And so ultimately, I think this is just a small fish in a way, way, way bigger pond.
Yeah. And we'll go ahead and continue in the NFL. Again, it's been a week of deals so far. And first up, Aaron Rodgers re-signs with Green Bay. I mean, I would too after the $98 million offer, embarrassing offer by the Broncos. And we'll talk Russell Wilson here in a minute. But wow, are you guys surprised he stayed in Green Bay? Tony, are you upset to go to the Steelers?
Man, I don't know if I'm upset about it. I would have liked to have had him on the Steelers, but ultimately, man, that guy, has won how many Super Bowls? One.
Yeah. Hey, Carson Wentz is coming your way too. So.
Well, he's every year, he's considered one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Obviously, there's some sort of issue, in that organization or in himself, for him to choke every year.
Yep.
I feel like, he's a great quarterback, but he just can't get it done. It's just kind of like Patrick Mahomes. He gets you to the AFC Championship, but he just can't do it.
I guess. Well, yeah, I can see the comparison. Tristen, your thoughts?
Again, I'm not a big fan of it because of kind of reportedly how much he's going to be making. I mean, the guy's 38. He's got one Super Bowl, like Tony said, in an 18-year career. He's got probably a couple of years left in him. That's my prediction.
Okay.
So to offer him all this money to stay for 4 years when I highly doubt he's going to stay all 4 years.
Could be. Favre again.
You can definitely tell that Green Bay is not wanting to lose him as a quarterback because they really don't have any other option besides Aaron Rodgers at this point. And
Jordan Love's not terrible. He just needs more reps.
Yeah, I believe Aaron Rodgers is the last quarterback out of the pack to still be in the NFL, meaning Brady's gone, Manning's gone. So really Aaron Rodgers is the last one to still be in the NFL. And, I got to argue the fact that I just don't think that he's a top tier quarterback anymore. And that's mostly because of the system he's working with and the players that he's working with. And I highly doubt that they're going to get a Super Bowl in the next 4 years under his contract.
Indeed. And next up, Russell Wilson. He's going to the Broncos and AFC West guy here. I'm all for it. Competition, more competition, the better. I mean, you got Carr entering his last year, his contract. He might get dealt, though. We'll see where those cards unfold. You got Russell Wilson now. You've got Patrick Mahomes and up-and-coming Justin Herbert. I mean, I give that kid credit. I love Justin Herbert, Chiefs fan till I die, but Justin Herbert, man, he's shown a lot of moxie and almost getting his team to the playoffs this year. In his second year, the dude is good. Very unheard of. I guess a lot of other people heard about him. I didn't really hear about him until he joined the Chargers, and he's come out and he's just throwing it, kind of like Mahomes did when he was in Kansas City in his first couple of years. It's ridiculous to see where they're coming, but Russell Wilson joining that group now. What are your all's thoughts on this? Tony, we'll go with you. May go over to Tristen real quick.
The Broncos within a 24-hour period went from one of the worst teams in the AFC and as a whole to probably one of the contenders in the AFC.
Yeah.
You've got weapons like Jerry Jeudy at wide receiver, and I think Russell Wilson is one of the best fits possibly for that offense to be able to run the ball and throw the ball at the same time. So I'm pretty excited to see where the Broncos go and to kind of, the Chiefs and the Broncos being interconference rivals. It's going to be very exciting to see Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson go at it next year and the years to come. I'm excited.
I find it weird that the Broncos have to continue to do it this way, that they suck so bad in their front office that they can't draft a good guy and they have to keep going out and spending money like this on. I mean, John Elway, he just needs to give it up. And the guys that are there now, they need to clean house and do that again. It's a good signing. It's a good signing. But I feel for Broncos fans because I know what that management's like. And Kansas City had it for years under Carl Peterson and some other guys that came in and did some really dumb things. But man, I just think Elway needs to be gone. He was the quarterback of the past. Let your past go and move forward. And then I think they start making really good decisions, because it's still going to come down to the coaching, and the coaching is going to be the ultimate decision, because we've seen what Russell Wilson does under Pete Carroll. I still think it's a big mistake that the Seahawks haven't let go of Pete Carroll. But Tony, any thoughts on this?
Yes, I think it's a terrible decision, in my opinion. Man, Russell Wilson just isn't that guy no more.
Yeah.
Is he competitive? Yes, he's a competitive guy. Sorry. And he's going to continue to be that competitive guy. But ultimately, he's just not the guy that's going to get it done.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to take you to the Super Bowl. I don't think he's going to be Patrick Mahomes. I don't think he's going to be Justin Herbert. He's not going to make it out of that conference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
rough.
Dude, that and like as much as I hate on the Chiefs, he's not going to beat the Chiefs. They just gave up their whole. They
gave up their scapegoat, Noah Fant. I mean, Fant was an incredible tight end.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Next up, we'll go ahead and move into men's March Madness, and it's getting closer. And do you guys see any issues with the top 25? I'm good up until top 16. KU at the number 6. I mean, come on. Duke is better. Purdue, they're a sleeper in my opinion. I think they're better than KU. I respect KU. They do belong in the top 15. But at number 6, I don't know. I mean, they've lost some questionable games for me. Though I think those two should swap, though. Purdue at number 10 and KU at number 6. I think they should swap out. Arkansas deserves a 13. Illinois, I feel like they should be better than what they are. But I don't know. I guess I'm okay for now. It's not official until this weekend. So, Tristen, any thoughts on the top 25?
Well, looking at it right now, you've got a 30-2 Murray State that's sitting at 19.
Yeah.
And after looking over it a little bit, they've got the best record in the top 25, and they're barely squeaked into the top 25. And I agree with you. Kansas is just not that team this year. Duke is way better.
Yeah.
But when in reference to the top 5, at least, I mean, they're pretty stacked. You got Gonzaga, Arizona, Baylor, Auburn, Kentucky. It's pretty stacked. There's a lot of talent, at least in the top 5. And Baylor for one, obviously being a Big 12 guy myself, it sucks not seeing my Sooners in the top 25, but they're just not that team. And they haven't been for.
I feel you with Mizzou, so we can
So I'm
this year.
But to see Baylor in the top 5, I've got a homie that went to Baylor, so okay. I guess I'm gonna be rooting for Baylor.
Yeah, I like the Bears. I like the Bears. They're a fun team to watch, especially on the girls' side too. They're almost dominant.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
How them and then the University of Kentucky can have dominant programs like that on both ends.
Right.
It shows that their staff is doing it the right way. Football's a little shaky there, but I mean, still, And
Definitely.
Tony, you agree with Tristen here?
Yeah, but man, I think ultimately the top 25 doesn't really matter. You got March Madness coming up.
It's the field of 64 that matters.
Yeah. At the end of the day, no one's ever going to remember, who was in the top 25.
Unless you're Kansas fan.
March. Yeah. No one's going to remember who's in the top 25 at the end of March. So ultimately, it doesn't matter. I mean, I think it literally just gives people the reason to talk about it, which is what we were doing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you don't win the whole thing, it doesn't matter if you were in the top 25 or you're the 64th team in the bracket.
Yep.
Definitely.
We now head to the UFC. And how do you guys feel about the Covington fight? You want to talk about it a little bit or move on?
Yeah. So it looked like a very dominating performance on Covington's on Covington's side.
Yeah, notice how I said Covington fight. So
yeah, man, he's just a tough guy. He has a good chin on him. I mean, there was moments in the fight where Masvidal, he was fighting. It's just tough. He's a wrestler. Wrestlers are dominating, the UFC world currently. It's just hard to fight somebody like that. And Jorge Masvidal is a great fighter. It's just really hard to stay competitive whenever your wrestling isn't there. And that's exactly what he said. At the end of the night, he said that his wrestling wasn't there where it needed to be. So he just, that's what he needs to work on. But at the same time, he's 37 years old.
Yeah,
he's getting old.
Aren't we all?
And unfortunately, the rivalry is still there, even though it was a dominant performance by Covington. There is still bad blood there.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Indeed. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Velasquez situation in the USC. And being detained for bail for attempted murder, that case going on. Tony, care to explain some more? Tristen, you want to explain some more? What are some more details here? I know he's been detained. I haven't really read the whole story yet, but for our viewers at home.
So it's literally the worst nightmare a parent could ever have. So his daughter, his 4-year-old daughter, goes to a daycare, and they found out that this guy had molested his daughter over 100 times. So naturally, as a father, the first thing that runs through your mind is blood. And they went out to, end this guy's life, and they didn't. The guy went for his hearing, and then he came out on bail. And so whenever knowing that he was out on bail, they tracked him down, and they ended up shooting that guy's father. And so now Cain Velasquez is currently in jail for attempted murder. Obviously awaiting trial for that. But man, I don't think anybody in this world disagrees with the actions that Cain, took. Yeah, there's the law, but ultimately, I'll go to prison for the rest of my life for my kid. That's for sure.
Yeah. Tristen, agree there? Same thoughts?
1000%. Obviously I don't have kids yet. But you just got to think as a father, especially with a daughter or son, those things are a father's worst nightmare, that someone else is taking advantage of your child, especially a 4-year-old daughter. How sick are individuals? I would have possibly I would have went through with it all. In my opinion, I think obviously, like Tony said, the law is the law, and he's got to face the consequences for his actions. But at the same time, 1000% justified. If I have a daughter and if someone does that, they're going to be 6 feet deep, and that's just my opinion. And like Tony said, I will go to prison for the rest of my life to protect my kids, especially from nasty individuals like that. And you hate to see something like that on the news, especially with anybody's children, not just a famous guy's children or anything like that. So I back Kane up 1,000%. And again, it's just disgusting to have to see something like that happen. And it's just sad. It really is. It's just sad.
And there's a lot of people donating money as well. Like fighters are donating like money from their purses or from their bonuses to support Kane, to try to get him off and get him the best lawyers as possible.
Yeah, crazy. And on that note, we'll go ahead and head into the local sports update brought to you by Trackside Burgers. Now under new ownership, go check them out today and get the streetcar number 60. And well, our only thing this week is high school basketball, and the Carl Junction girls basketball team won their 7th district title last week. And this weekend on Saturday, the 12th, they will take on West Plains at 1 p.m. in the quarterfinals. So congratulations to Carl Junction women's basketball. You guys are doing something that hasn't been done around here in the girls sports in a long time, along with Missouri Southern. And we'll talk about Missouri Southern here in a little bit, but that's awesome. Congratulations to you guys. Much, much deserved. And we're very excited to see where you guys end up this year. And with that, we will now head into the 2-minute warning brought to you by Hot Stone Pizzeria, coming to Webb City this spring. And this week in the 2-minute warning, we'll go ahead and bring in a good friend of Tony's and new to the show, Mr. Marshall Potter. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
That's good to hear. And Tony, go for it.
What's up, buddy? How are you doing, man?
I'm good.
Sweet. You have a good night of practice?
Yeah.
Sweet. You're getting the finishing touches done. And so I know that you haven't been boxing for your whole life. How long did you start boxing, man?
Back in October 2019, so 2.5 years ago.
Okay, man. I remember whenever you first showed up at the gym, you were slightly shorter, slightly pudgier, and now you're not as pudgy, but still kind of short. I just no, but it's awesome, man. I've seen you transform into a better athlete and a better fighter. That's cool. So now that it's fight week, man.
Yep.
You're fighting some dude named Sean Rodriguez. He's coming all the way from where?
Florida. I don't remember what town, but
I got you. It doesn't matter. Well, ultimately, I know this dude is ranked, but I've watched a little bit of that guy's film, and I know what you have to offer, and I've seen you in the gym sparring, and I know what you have, so I feel pretty confident that you're going to come out on top on this. That left hand you have is pretty good. So it's fight week. What are you doing now during this week differently than you would be doing normally?
working more head movement, working more on getting inside, getting all my body.
Yeah, man.
Chop down the tree.
Yeah. I know the guy's a little bit taller than you are, and you've been getting some good sparring. I know that. You can get some good training from Dallas. Dallas does a great job training you guys. This fight, is there anything different about this fight than any other fight that you would normally have?
I feel like he might. Yeah, I feel like he's a fierce competitor. He's gonna come in and have something to prove because he's ranked and I'm not. I feel like he's gonna think it might be easy or something. I don't know.
Does that add any intimidation of having a ranked fighter come up against you, or are you pretty level-headed about it?
It doesn't really intimidate me that much.
It's good.
Yeah, and it shouldn't, man. I mean, ultimately, he hasn't seen somebody like you. I mean, I've seen you in the gym, and seeing the things that you do, it's you're miles ahead of a lot of kids your age that are competing, man. And at the end of the day, he should be intimidated. He should be the one that's scared because, you're not ranked, but after this weekend, I think you will. So I think you're gonna put yourself on the map and on the radar for a lot of people. So one last question, man. Why did you start boxing? Why did it get your interest, or what was the point, and what keeps you going right now?
When I started, it was I decided not to play basketball one year, and my dad told me I wasn't going to sit at home and do nothing. So he enrolled in boxing, and my brother was doing it at the time. So he just decided to sign me up too, and I've just enjoyed it ever since. It's a fun environment to be around.
Yeah, best decision you've made, huh? Or
yeah, really helped me transform and become a better person, mature more.
Heck yeah, man, that's awesome. Well, hey, man, I'm going to be there. Much luck to you. Get some good rest. Get plenty of fluids in you, and good luck to you, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, Tony, who's our next guest?
Some dude that I had to grow up with, unfortunately, and it's my little brother. I call him BB. All of our family calls him BB, but professionally goes by Rodgers.
Welcome into the show, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not really anticipating the snow coming in on Friday, but I guess it is what it is. We live in Missouri, so.
Yeah. I'm not ready for that either.
Well, hey, man. First things first. How was practice tonight? You feeling good? Anything crazy?
No, I feel good. Just moved around, just hitting the bag a little bit, not trying to overdo it. Obviously, it's fight week, so I'm not gonna try to kill myself the week of.
Sure.
I'm gonna try to keep it, the same I have been, but not overdo it.
Okay.
Yeah. Where's your weight at?
Wait. No, I'm like 3 pounds over, so it's not too bad.
I gotcha.
Weight at 180 today. Yeah.
Cool.
Crazy.
Hey, man. This week, you do a lot of training in school, so obviously, how are you treating this week differently than you would any other week?
I try not to. I mean, I keep it the same. Everything's gonna be the same. It's not gonna be like one day is gonna be harder than another. No, I just keep the same pace. Don't overdo it. But also, I'm gonna work hard, but I'm not gonna push myself to the brink of, passing out or something. But I want to keep it the same. Keep it normal, so that way I feel the same when it comes to fight.
Sure.
You're a really young fighter. What's been your motivation to get started and keep going?
Just the knowledge, like just knowing I can get better. Like I feel if I can tell like where I've progressed, and I can just I can tell every time like I get better, and I can I just like that. I just like the feeling knowing I get better.
Okay, that's awesome.
So Roger, you mentioned you're 3 pounds over week of the fight, which is normal. I've been around the fight game for a pretty long time, so I know how tough it can be to cut weight. My question to you is there a specific regimen you use to make sure you make that weight come weigh-ins?
I like to stick I had a really good wrestling regimen I followed. I just also I lose as much weight as possible. I like to be right on in weight. I'll be right at 180. If I wrestled 184 in college, and so I will weigh exactly 184, if not 0.2 under, if not maybe sometimes 0.4 under. I like just being right on, but I would just wear a couple layers, work out. If I need to take off some layers, I will. If I can feel good. So obviously you want to lose the weight, wear wear as much layers as possible. But if you don't feel good, you're not gonna practice good. So
gotcha.
So you have to feel good, and so that way you can practice good. But if you don't, then you might as well take off a layer or two, or else you're just gonna be slacking, and you're not gonna be able to be as productive as you would be.
Crazy.
So what are you eating right now?
Right now, I'll probably eat some chicken. I'll drink some water, probably like not my last time drinking water in general, like I'll be just sipping on water from now on. I'm gonna get Cliff Bars. Cliff Bars are like really helpful, like really small, like really compact. Uncrustables are really helpful too. Like each Uncrustable weighs like 0.2 ounces, which is like really light and just does the job. And so
Heck
that's
yeah.
like what
Shout out to
the week.
Uncrustables and Cliff Bars.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what I do.
Hey, I was actually meaning to ask Marshall as well, but I know where his answer lies, but I'm going to ask you. Do you ever plan on going pro?
I would like to see that. I mean, if I'll give an opportunity and like if I have more time to focus on boxing, I would definitely love to. But as right now, I still like wrestling a lot better. So, but
Fair
maybe
enough.
one day, yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, awesome. I appreciate you coming on. You have a good rest of your night, buddy. You take care.
All
Drink
right.
a lot of water.
Yep, we'll do. Thank you. See you
Yeah.
guys.
See you
See
later.
ya.
And well, on that note, we continue here with Southern women's basketball team, and they will be playing in the NCAA Division II tournament. The 4-seeded Lions will head to Hayes, Kansas to take on St. Cloud State University at 7:30 p.m. Friday. I'm going to try my best to watch that one at home. History in the making for Southern here. I fully believe they can get out of this first round. So good luck, girls, women, whatever you want to go by there. I apologize if I get that wrong. But man, I'm excited for you guys. So good luck and go Lions. And we now head over to the baseball side as Southern baseball team will head to UCO this weekend. They will play at 5 p.m. on Friday. Then on Saturday, they will play at 3 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m. As for Pitt State, they will play host to Northwest Missouri State this weekend. Friday, they will play at 3 and Saturday at 1, and Sunday they'll play at noon. As for softball, Missouri Southern will host Central Missouri in a doubleheader beginning at 3 p.m. with game 2 to follow on Saturday as well, and that first game will be on Friday. And then they will host Lincoln at 1 p.m. with game 2 to follow as well. Kind of a 2-team doubleheader there. As for Pitt State, they do the opposite. Their softball team will have a 2-day doubleheader to play Lincoln on Friday at 1 p.m. with game 2 to follow. And then Saturday, they will take on Central Missouri at 1 with game 2 to follow also. And of course, all these games and events are pending to weather and the current and fluid COVID-19 situation. So tune in to each team's social media pages for times and updates. And well, fellas, the music is here. And so is the end of another episode. For Tony, Tristen, and myself, have a great and safe weekend and enjoy some sports. Hopefully you get to make your way up to wherever you need to go before the snow hits. And if you can't, hopefully you have safe travels through that. So stay warm and see you guys next week here on the Sports Timeout podcast.
See you guys.
See you.